Well, let me tell you, you are so lucky to have a wonderful candidate and wonderful member of Congress who served this community so well. I was honored to be elected in the same class as David Young. He is truly and genuinely one of my best friends that I've had the opportunity to serve with. I love his family. I've gotten to know his parents over the past few years and his extended family as well. So I feel really at home to be with fellow supporters of David Young. David even came to my wedding. I mean, we're genuinely friends outside of the workplace. I am excited to be here in Iowa. This is about my third time in Iowa. I participated in the caucus in Rockwell City, which actually is pretty similar to my district. I know that when you think of New York, you probably think of New York City. I'm the opposite part of New York State. I'm way upstate New York. I represent a district that's rural, that's pro-Second Amendment, that's pro-life, and that overwhelmingly voted for President Trump. I flipped a district the way David did as well. You won a district, I forget who.
We're going to flip it back.
We're going to flip it back. So we know how to flip a district. And these seats are so important to win and hold for the Republican majority. I grew up in my family's small business. Neither of my parents had the opportunity to graduate from college, but they started my family's business and wanted to make sure that my brother and I had better opportunities than they had. So David really crystallizes the choice that we have this election. It is a choice between socialism versus the American dream. We need to stand strong for the American dream, folks, because we see how it's slipping away. All you have to do is listen to the Democratic candidates who are coming to Iowa. They are talking about a government takeover of health care. They're talking about gun confiscation. They're talking about shredding our constitutional rights. And we need to stand strong for our conservative principles and our constitutional liberties. And I can tell you, David Young did that when he was in Congress. He is a strong conservative. He has delivered results to this district. He is a strong voice for Iowa small businesses, Iowa farmers, and Iowa hardworking families, which is why we work so well together, because it's very similar to the issues in upstate New York. But let me tell you something, folks. The vile and viciousness on the left is real. I was very proud to stand up for the Constitution, for the truth and the facts, and our president. You know, we've heard from Democrats since the day after President Trump was elected that they wanted to impeach him. So this was not just an attack on our president, it's an attack on the American voters. It's an attack on the American electorate and the ability for voters in this country to vote for who they want as president. You only have to listen to Adam Schiff on the floor of the U.S. Senate saying this is not just about the 2016 elections, this is about the 2020 elections. They want to remove President Trump from the ballot. But I know that the voters are going to turn out. We saw great turnout in small Rockwell City, Iowa, and I know the turnout is going to help Republican candidates up and down the ballot, and that's why we're going to win back this seat. And make no mistake, Cindy Axne has broken her promises to this district. She ran without a record. Now she has a record. She has a record of supporting tax hikes. She has a record of supporting impeachment. She has a record of voting with AOC and Nancy Pelosi 90% of the time and not standing for the principles and what people in this district want. So we need to send her back home and send David to Washington to stand up for what we all believe in. So let's give him a big round of applause. And I know many of you are probably interested in hearing my take on impeachment, so I'll spend a few minutes on that, and then I'm happy to actually invite Steve up, and then we'll take some questions. So I'm on the House Intelligence Committee, as you know. It is one of the most important committees in Congress. It used to be a very bipartisan committee. We deal with important national security issues. We get briefed on intelligence issues that we collect around the country, and it really will always put our nation first. Until Adam Schiff made it the impeachment committee, until the endless investigation started. I sat through the majority of those depositions from witnesses in the basement bunker, in the closed-door setting where there was no people, not all members of Congress were allowed, where there was no press. That is unacceptable in our country. It should have been done, and it shouldn't have been done at all, but if it was done, it should have been done in a transparent process. I also was the first member who asked the question, Did Adam Schiff know about the whistleblower or communicate with the whistleblower before the whistleblower issued their complaint? And I was ridiculed by the mainstream media. But it turns out that was a very important question to ask, because we now know that there was coordination between Adam Schiff's Democratic staff and the whistleblower. This is a political hit job, my friends, and American voters know this across the country. Republicans were not able to call any witnesses that were not on Adam Schiff's list. So this, hearing Adam Schiff talk about the importance of witnesses on the Senate side, he is being disingenuous, hypocritical, and frankly lying, because we were not allowed to call our important witnesses, like Hunter Biden, like the whistleblower, people that would provide pertinent facts for this investigation. When I called out this in the House Intelligence hearings, I didn't anticipate the amount of attacks I would get from the left. I was just speaking the truth. I was asking the witnesses pointed questions about did they have direct evidence of impeachable offenses, and every single witness said no, they did not have direct evidence, and that was their testimony. Hollywood, Rosie O'Donnell, Chelsea Handler, let me tell you, every D-lister attacked me and smeared me. My opponent raised money off of the hashtag Trashy Stefanik, something I never would have imagined I would have called in my life. But we fought back, and my constituents, we've never gotten more positive calls, and the American people helped me fight back. We outraised my Democratic opponent overwhelmingly, and it's because I'm proud to stand up for the Constitution, the American voters, our republic, and our president. So I am honored to be here. We need to elect David to make sure that we are standing strong to get things done, to continue to move forward on growing our manufacturing base, growing our economy. USMCA, all these important results that people care about, we need David there to get them done for Iowa families. So thank you so much for the opportunity to be here. I want to recognize our great whip, Steve Scalise, who is incredible.